Hey, this is Jason Morris, Real Estate Agents That Really Work, and this is my part of my For Sale by Owner Master series. So I've got a lot of videos, but one section I wanted to make sure that I recorded something on was I want to talk to you about building confidence, building mental toughness, because calling for sale owners, it can be difficult. I mean, some days, you know what, you make calls, everybody answers the phone, everybody just loves you, and they think it's great. You make 4 calls, set 4 appointments. Then the next day, you make calls for 3 hours, nobody answers the phone, and if they do, they're mean to you. So so it takes a lot of mental toughness. I mean, some days it can be draining. So I, I feel like this is one of the biggest issues that agents have, especially new agents, is they just lack the self confidence, and they lack the mental toughness. It's easy to be confident around your friends and family. It can be, it can be difficult. You're heading into a new career. You're heading into a new career path. When most people start out, they're kind of flying by the seat of their pants, and they hope everything turns out like some random broker that sold 3 properties last year told them it would. But the truth is they don't have any sales systems or anything, and making calls to get listings, especially for sale owners, it can be mentally exhausting. This isn't a very physical job. This isn't a physical tough job. It's a mentally tough job. Most of the problems you'll have as you're building your business and calling for sale owners, they won't be financial, and it won't be lack of knowledge. It's going to be mental toughness and preparation. And if you want to take and continue to level up your business, 10x your business, it's mostly going to be in your head. In listing for sale owners and getting those appointments and stuff, it's the same way. It's a mental game. It's not a physical game. You're probably, working through this series, you're probably going to have some aha type moments, and a lot of it, it's going to depend on your desire to succeed. And two, you need to constantly look for pursuing, self help, self improvement, stuff like that. You know, my business over the years is constantly involved, and a lot of it's changed with my goals and in my business things I wanted for my business and things I wanted for my life. So I made this section because I want to share with you some things I've done over the years that have helped me. I mean, the number one thing is I have a routine and I have rituals. And if you read a lot, you'll find out that most really successful people do. They have rituals. They have a morning ritual that they follow, and that morning ritual puts them into a certain mental state so that they can, attack the day. And one thing I do is affirmations. When I first started the real estate business, I kind of thought it was dumb. I thought affirmations were dumb. I was right out of college. I thought self help was people who needed help, and I didn't need any. All I could think about, was a Saturday Night Live skit with Stuart Smalley. They called daily affirmations. And if you haven't seen it, it's kind of hilarious. You should look them up on YouTube. But I didn't think really like standing in front of a mirror in the morning and telling myself how great I am was really gonna help me. I mean, it just kind of seemed really silly and kind of dumb. So, 7 or 8 years later, I started like listening to Tony Robbins and doing a lot of stuff like that. I figured out that affirmations were really, truly, they're truly magical. And, first of all, if you don't know what an affirmation is, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you how to use them. To affirm something, according to Google, is declare it to be true. Now, if you're declaring that you're going to be wealthy, but you're financially going through hardships, or you're, you know, saying you're loved, but really deep down, you're lonely, and you're probably thinking, like, hey, these things are just something to trick your mind, but it's really not. What you're declaring to yourself and to the universe is that you intend for these things to be true. Basically, you're creating a vision, and everybody's brain acts like a filter. It only lets information in that we need, and it filters out all the information we don't. So our brain only registers to us what matters based on our goals, our needs, our interests, and desires. For example, if you're thinking about buying a new car and you go out and look at like a new red Mercedes, a brand new one, you test drive it, you love it. Next thing you know, you start looking around, and brand new Mercedes are everywhere. What's happening is your brain is registering that this car in the color red matters to you. So all of a sudden, you're starting to pick up on this everywhere. And the reason this is happening is it's because of something called your reticular activating system. And this is the filter in your brain that you have so you just don't get overwhelmed by everything. So when you say affirmations over and over again, it sends a message to that reticular activating system, or RAS, and that says, hey, these things are important to you. Then all of a sudden, your brain starts getting busy and it starts noticing these things that will help these affirmations and these goals become true. So if it's money at the forefront of your goals and affirmations, your brain's going to start filtering and looking for things that are going to help you make money. If you want to lose weight or you want to be happier or whatever it is, it does the same thing. It even does the same thing with for sale owners. You start listing for sale owners, you start saying affirmations, you start saying, hey, I'm a for sale owner master, I'm a for sale owner, whatever. Next thing you know, it's like you see for sale owner signs everywhere. It's not that they weren't there before. It's just that now your brain is noticing them. So these affirmations, what they do is they create a dynamic tension within ourselves. And if your affirmations are not true today, that tension gets greater and your mind starts looking for ways to get rid of that tension. So if you're saying to yourself over and over, I'm a for sale owner master, but you're not, you never listed it for sale owner, your mind is going to start working on that. It's going to start looking for ways to raise the bar and make that affirmation a reality. So, I've read that it can take 21 days of saying an affirmation to make it stick in your mind and in your psyche. I feel like at different times in my life when I started doing affirmations or a new affirmation, it was almost instant. I truly have the mindset of abundance, and I truly believe the more freely you give, the more you're going to get back in return. And when I started saying things like to myself, like I'm a listing machine, I'm a for sale owner, master, and stuff like that, it's like all of a sudden I just started listing property like crazy. At the same time when the market really sucked and basically our market was in a free fall back in 2008, my self-talk was a lot different. And I started looking for things other than real estate sales I could do. I never quit selling real estate, but I started building websites and I started, doing rental leases and stuff like that. So what I'd recommend you guys doing is look on YouTube for affirmations on abundance. You have to be very careful with affirmations and the self-talk that you use. I found that like several that are 3 to 5 minute affirmations that I use like on a daily basis. I'll play them when I'm riding the car by myself or I'm at the gym on the treadmill or something like that. You don't have to say them out loud. You just say them in your mind. The ones on YouTube, they usually have a little music in the background. They're free, and there's a ton of them. And when you find a recording you like, you bookmark it or save it. That way you can kind of go back to it later, and you keep going over and over. I try to do it at least once a day. Sometimes I do it 2 or 3 times. It just depends on what I got going on and how busy I am. It won't be very long before those affirmations that you're saying over and over about abundance, you're going to start truly believing them, and you're going to start realizing like, wow, I never listed 2 properties in a week, or I never listed, 5 properties in a month, or whatever that goal is you have. It's going to help you tremendously with your mindset, with your confidence, with your stress level. I mean, if you've got a problem, start doing affirmations around that problem, and you'll find that your mind is just going to work on it, just kind of figure it out for you. So it's really crazy how it works. But I'm a big believer in self-help and self-improvement, and I'm a big believer in building a better you. And I think we should all look for ways and programs to work on ourselves, and we can all be a better version of ourselves just by working on it a little bit each day, and we can all develop a better mindset by working on each day. And I believe all of us should be participating in some sort of self-improvement, something, and constantly working on how we can be a little bit better. I heard Colton Lindsay say a while back, he said, I'm working on how can I be a little bit happier each day. I thought that was a great line, and it kind of stuck with me. We all should be working on how we can be a little bit happier each day, get a little bit better, get a little bit closer to our goals and things like that. All of us have some self-limiting belief on a certain area or thing we want to improve about ourselves. And a lot of our habits are pretty deeply ingrained. Many times they're learned or inherited. There are a lot of people that feel like they just don't deserve success. They don't deserve more money. They don't deserve, a happy relationship. And it's hard to change those habits or beliefs. You can't change them for sure without working on them. For me, I tell people all the time, Tony Robbins changed my life. I borrowed a copy of his audio program, Personal Power 2, and I worked through the 30-day program and had what I felt like was just constant breakthroughs. I mean, part of me writing this book, part of me doing this For Sale by Owner Master course, my book 53 Strategies to Get More Listings was a result of the last time I worked through the Tony Robbins program. I wanted to give back to this to the industry, so I highly recommend that to help you build your mindset, help you build really tough mental toughness. I highly encourage you, buying one of his books, looking at one of his courses, watching his Netflix documentary, I'm Not Your Guru. I don't want to limit you. I don't want you to think, hey, Jason loves Tony Robbins, which I do, but you know, um, there's Zig Ziglar. There's so many. Zig Ziglar was an enormous influence on me when I first got in the real estate business. His book "See You at the Top" was fantastic. I mean, there are countless others who've wrote books and self-help courses on literally any subject you can think of, and there's so much free stuff available on YouTube. Whenever I feel like I got a problem or I'm stuck reaching my goals, I've plateaued, I'm having problems getting motivated or whatever, I look for those things. You know, Another thing I do is I'm constantly looking for a coach or mentor. And I think this will help you build mindset, mental toughness. The quickest way to get over a hurdle or shorten a learning curve sometimes is to hire a coach or look for a mentor. For most of the time I've been in the real estate business, I've had some sort of real estate coach. And I don't do real estate coaching because I'd really rather just give you guys everything for free like this. And I don't have times that to really commit to you guys. Or to commit to a set weekly time with one person. But when I've got off track and I need help getting back on track, I went and hired a coach. I mean, not having a coach could be limiting your success. And what it does, a coach is going to help you identify a problem, help you fix that problem. A coach is going to help you focus on things you need to really accelerate your growth. A good coach is going to help you identify where your clients' wants and needs are. Sometimes when you're in the middle of things, it's hard to see, what's really going on around you. That saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. Oftentimes they're going to help provide your business with some structure and accountability too. The truth is, most of us in the real estate business, we have a type A personality, and sometimes we'll sacrifice relationships with family and friends, even our health, thinking we're heading in the right direction. Mentors, I find, are often a little different than coaches. The word mentor is really defined as a trusted advisor, and typically a mentor is gonna help you too, but usually they're not paid for helping you. Sometimes they don't even know they're really your mentor. This could be anybody. It could be another agent in your office, your broker, another agent across the country. Typically it's just someone you can run things by. You can watch what they're doing. You can emulate them. You can copy them. I recommend everybody finding that person that can be your mentor, just somebody you can run things by. You can see what they're doing. You can kind of shadow them, even if they don't really know that you're really shadowing them. Another thing you want to do is you want to set goals. You want to have something that you can justify and something that you can see. And I mean, I've done a section already on setting goals and building goals, so I don't want to spend a lot of time going over it. But when you have goals that you can go back and you can look through and you can constantly review, and you can say, hey, this is why I'm calling these for sale owners. This is why I'm getting up and making calls every day. This is it, because I want, whatever your goals are, that's going to help you with your mindset. It's going to help you get through those days that are rough, those days that, some days are tough, It's going to help you get through that, reviewing your goals and figuring out, hey, why am I doing something? So I hope this helps you. It's probably the toughest thing to work on sometimes is the mental hurdles we have and the roadblocks we set up for ourselves. I mean, sometimes the thing holding us back from getting to that next level and get more listings and get more business and stuff, sometimes it's ourselves. Just for some reason we have something that we don't think that will allow us to do it. I mean, I had an agent tell me a while back they weren't doing videos because they wanted to lose weight first. I mean, and it's the craziest situation. Uh, um, hey, that's keeping you from having a better career and being able to provide better for yourself and your family, is because you think that you have to do something before you can do this. And there's no reason at all why you can't really start today. So I hope this really helps you guys and helps you get motivated and on the right track. Listen to the rest of my videos from our For Sale by Owner Mastery. Mastery course that's on YouTube. Join my Facebook channel, our Facebook group, Real Estate Agents That Really Work. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if there's any questions you have, post them in the group, post them in the comments, and I'll be glad to try to help you out.